All right, so we are live. Let's hope it works this time. Every once in a while, we are having issues with, um, let's see. All right, cool, awesome. Let's hope this works. Yay. All right, great. So let's see how we do. We are on multiple platforms. Again, we are on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And I guess I'm hoping and praying it will work, okay? Let's see. We don't have any. All right, great. So if you guys have any questions, now is the time to put them in the chat so they can join. And I will address your questions as they come. If for some reason I miss, hi Destiny, good to see you. If by some reason you put a question in the chat and I don't get to you, it's because I probably missed it. Feel free to post it again. So great, good to see you guys. So we are again on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. So if I'm looking here, it's TikTok. If I'm looking there, generally speaking, it's where the chat is. So, all right, awesome. So what I want to address today is mistakes to avoid when you're filing for a loved one. Obviously, it is very important that you file the right way. This is a loved one we are talking about, so it's very critical that you do everything right and you do it right the first time to avoid all those delays and mistakes. So let's talk about first, while you guys are queuing up your questions, your name on Facebook. It's the same. I am Connie Kaplan. I'm an immigration attorney. That question comes from someone on TikTok. So if you go to my profile, you actually see it right then and there. Okay, I'm an immigration attorney. We are located in Florida, but we help people everywhere make the United States their permanent home. We have clients right now in 46 of the 50 US states. It doesn't matter where you are located within the United States, we can help you. Thanks for asking me that. And yes, so it's attorney Connie Kaplan, immigration attorney Connie Kaplan in Florida. Okay, and we help people regardless of where they are located. We have plenty of clients in other countries. And when I am in the other office, we actually have a whole display of all the flags of all the people from other countries that we have helped. And the most recent, we had two people who were sworn in as citizens. One was from Poland and the other one was from Haiti. The best Catracho wants to know, C1D visa, can I adjust status without going out of the United States? No, you cannot. With a C1D visa, you cannot adjust status in the United States. What does that actually mean? It means you are a crew member, generally speaking, on a cruise ship, and depending on when and where exactly were you on that contract with a C1D, there is a very, very, very little chance of you getting the adjustment of status. There are some exceptions where some people on C1D will be able to get adjustment of status. It is very rare and it is discretionary. So generally speaking, without leaving the United States, if you entered on C1D, you cannot. Now, it really depends. I'm assuming you are talking about marriage to a U.S. citizen. There may be other options available to you if you are married to a U.S. citizen or married to a permanent resident, where you can get status even if you entered on C1D. Give us a call and we might be able to help you with that, okay? Hi, Rahul. You have taken voluntary departure but haven't left. If my USCIS application approved, am I safe? Yes and no. Let's talk about that. If you took voluntary departure, and you have not left the United States, after the time expires, the time that the judge has given you voluntary departure, time that they've given you to leave, and you have not left, that order now becomes a removal order. So you have a deportation and you have not left. If that is the case, you are saying, if USCIS approves my application, first, you are not safe because you have a removal order. If you are talking about TPS, then you are safer because you have a removal order, but they cannot deport you while you do have TPS. That being said, I don't know what application package you have that you submitted and what application you expect the government to approve. So, Rahul, if you want to give me a little bit more information, I can try to help you a little bit more, okay? So, Destiny, I really want to come to USA, but I don't have anyone to help me. Okay, so let's talk about that. Generally speaking, when you talk about coming to the US, you are talking about two things, all right? One, coming here temporarily or coming here permanently. Generally speaking, most people come to the United States, want to live here permanently. If that's the case, there are five. I'll get to you in a second, Rahul. I see your answer, okay? And you can give me even more. Tell me on that I-129 application, what kind of application, what kind of status or visa did you apply for, okay? So, because there are a million of them over there, okay? So back to Destiny. So there are 5 ways to get a green card in the United States or permanent residency. And I know, thank you for answering, Destiny. So there are really 5 ways, okay? There are more than 5, but generally speaking, this is what applies to all of them. It's asylum. For that, you have to already be in the United States. Okay, you can apply for diversity visa, which is the green card lottery. And if you win in the lottery, then you can apply and then you can come to the United States with permanent residency or a green card. You can file for an investor visa, depending on your financial situation, an employment visa, depending on your education, your skills, how well you are known in your field. And there are different categories. There are some available for less skilled employment as well. And then by being with a permanent resident or marrying a US citizen. Those are really the 5 ways to come to the United States, Destiny. Okay, so you might want to work on some of those. You might want to also consider coming to the United States temporarily first. Okay, be here for a while, meet some people, and see if there are other ways to either get sponsored for as a spouse or get sponsored as an employee for a company. For that, you might want to be here first in the United States. Okay, so, all right. So hopefully, Destiny, that helps you out. We can go into detail and try to evaluate your options more. You have to book a full consultation for that because we really, really need to know a lot more details about your situation, okay? I just did a TikTok since you are on TikTok, and Alexandra has a question. I'll get to you in a second, okay? She's on YouTube. So there is a TikTok. I said at the minimum, that's the information that I will need in order for me to even tell you what your options are, okay? Yes, Cesar, I'll get to you in a second. So yes, all right? Give us a call, all right? And we can help you with that. Back to you, Rahul. So you said you applied for H-1B and you have received a notice of intent to deny. And you are responding with documents. Even if they do approve, okay, you might not be able to get it because you have not maintained non-immigrant status in the United States, okay? If you took voluntary departure at some point in the past, you exhibited immigrant intent. Your H-1B application is dual intent. While you might be able to get it approved, it is unlikely you will be able to actually get the visa, okay? Because you have the removal order and they are going to try to execute that. Not always, it depends. I wouldn't count on that. All right. So when Alexandra was, since Cesar's question is shorter, do you help people from Venezuela? Yes, Cesar, we help people from Venezuela. We help people from Haiti. And I'm glad you asked, because I just had a consultation right before I went live here with a person from Venezuela, and she entered before the TPS for Venezuela was announced, and luckily she is able to get TPS. Her partner, however, is not able to get it because for other complicated reasons. So it really depends. As I was mentioning earlier in the beginning, we help people regardless of where they are from, regardless of where you are located. So yes, we can absolutely help you with that. Venezuela and Haiti is really heavy right now. We do a lot of those applications. Someone has asylum pending in Florida, but is moving to California for family reasons. Can they transfer the case? Yes. Is it true that they would have higher chances of approval if not in Florida? Yes. Can you help them make this transfer? Yes. Well, thank you. That was like 3 questions that I can help with a yes. That sounds great. Yes. So the asylum approval rates, both at the asylum office and in court, are available to see on the internet. You just have to Google it, okay? Obviously, they are not the most recent. Some of them are quite recent. Some of them are older data, but the trends are the same. Think about it. The officers and the judges are about the same. None of them have actually changed. The denial rates in Florida are significantly higher than the denial rates in California. They are higher than the denial rates in New York. You are much better off applying for certain types of asylum depending on the location, okay? You are better off applying in other parts of the country. That doesn't mean they don't approve them in Florida. They do. But if you are moving to California, that's actually a great place to be for this. Yes, your chances will be higher. And yes, we can help you with the transfer. So that would be good, okay? Cesar, again, if my partner and I are both from Venezuela and we get married in the USA, can we become residents? Yes, but not the way you're thinking, not through TPS, because TPS does not have the option, okay, of granting a benefit to your spouse just because you have it, okay? So that's not it. You know, you might have other options. Theoretically speaking, you can all become residents if you have the option. To evaluate your options, I really need to know a lot about you. There is a TikTok there. I see you're on Facebook, but you can see us on TikTok. And there is one there in which I said, this is the minimum amount of information that I know in order to even give you a tiny help, okay? And I want to be able to help you. The more information you give us, the better it is. Okay, Cesar, I'm hoping that helps you. Let's get back to people on TikTok and address some of those questions. Rahul, will USCIS know about my EOIR cases as it was unfair decision? Well, if you thought your EOIR case was an unfair decision, you had to appeal. If you have not appealed, or the appeal is pending, then it doesn't matter whether it was unfair or not. If the appeal was denied, it's still a decision. And yes, USCIS will not your EOIR cases. Worse off is if you thought that USCIS will not know about EOIR cases and you did not disclose, okay? So that would be way worse for you. So I wouldn't do that, okay? Truthfulness takes you so much farther in immigration than lying, or not lying, but not disclosing something on your application. There is one thing I'll never understand. We have clients every once in a while that just don't want to list their children on the immigration applications. I'm like, first, you should disclose because they are your children. Second, if they are your spouse's children and not yours, the minute you are married, they become your children. You still need to disclose whether you like them or not. If you don't disclose, it's going to be construed against you. They are going to hold that against you and think you are lying because you want to obtain a benefit. And they are going to deny your application because of something so ridiculous of not listing the children. Okay? So, yes, they will definitely know. USCIS and EOIR are like this, believe me. They know. Vice, hi Vice, how long after getting married can we file an AOS application? So, how do you know about AOS? All right. How long after getting married? Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you the foreign national? Are you only a permanent resident? It really depends. Okay, theoretically speaking, you can file right away, but should you file right away? And it's not when you file that matters, it's the date of marriage. So if your foreign national spouse arrived in the United States and you got married right away, then we are talking about issues of immigrant intent. And that is going to be a presumption of immigrant intent in the first 60 days from his and her entry into the United States. It's going to be a rebuttable presumption between 60 and 90 days of entering the United States. So depending on how strong your application is, if you wait 90 days, it's best. If you wait 60, it's maybe good enough. Definitely not under the 60 days. On the other hand, sometimes the foreign national enters the country, the officer is asking them, what are you here for? And they are like, I'm going to get married to my U.S. citizen boyfriend. At that point, frankly, they admitted to immigrant intent. They were let in anyway, and they are going to be denied because they entered with immigrant intent. So in that case, it's not much you can do. So Vice, I hope that helps you, but I want you to give me, what if we marry on the 94th day? Get married on the 94th day and then you file. Don't forget, even after you get married, it takes about 2 months to put a proper application package together that it's fully approvable, okay, without mistakes and delays. Don't make that easy. Don't think it's about filling out forms. Immigration is not about filling out forms, okay? Don't take it too lightly, all right? Give us a call. We can try to help you. But 94th day sounds better than 34th day. All right. In removal for a long time, have not received any news, but I moved a few months ago. I did my change of address with USCIS online. I'm covered, right? Yes. Let me give you a little bit on that. So you're in removal for a long time. You haven't received any news. First, you should call EOIR. If you are in removal, you should call EOIR every month, if not every single week. It takes 2 seconds to put it in, put your alien number in, and check the status of your case. If you moved and you didn't file a change of address, you may be removed, deported, and you may not know about it. Even if you did file a change of address with USCIS online, okay, that doesn't count, because guess what? USCIS only works with affirmative applications, meaning a green card application, an asylum application, all the other things. If you're in removal, USCIS is not the right agency, it's EOIR, and you need to file a change of address as if you're filing something with the court, that it's the court system. You have to file it with them, okay? You cannot just file with USCIS. I just had a consultation with someone last week, and they were telling me, I don't understand how can I be in removal because I filed my change of address with the Postal Service. You can file 1 million of those. They do not care. If you did not let the proper agency know, proper immigration agency know, the proper department know that you moved and this is your change of address and this is your new address, and then you didn't get a notice and you got deported, it's your problem, it's not theirs. Okay? So you need to do what you need to do it right. Okay? So make sure you do it right. We can help you with that to do it right, okay? So yes, please take care of that. What if we marry on the, I addressed that one. Any update for nurses? No, there is no update on that, at least not until this weekend. I haven't read the news since this weekend, but probably not. Good. So any other questions? If you guys have them, put them in, and let me get back to what mistakes should you avoid when you're filing for a loved one. First things first, make sure that you can file. Make sure you can actually file for your loved one. We had a consultation with an individual from, it was about a month and a half ago, all right? And he wanted to petition for his fiancée from the Philippines, okay? And we had a consultation, and I am going through the questions, and I'm like, have you ever been arrested? Yes. Have you ever been convicted of a crime? Yes. What kind of crimes was it there? And the petitioner, this is the US citizen, right? And they are telling me, oh, well, I have this firearms offense. Okay, yes, a concealed weapon. Yes, I have this drug trafficking. I have burglary. I have arson. No kidding. I mean, this person had everything, about 50 of them. None of them would have prevented him from petitioning for the fiancé. You know what prohibits him from petitioning for the fiancé? The one charge, and only one crime that he had that was of a sexual nature, and he was not a sexual offender. Okay? He was not a sexual offender, and because of that, he was unable to petition for his fiancée from the Philippines. Okay? So yes, there are some cases in which you need to know that you are eligible to file for someone to bring them here. You are eligible to file in most cases, but not always. Sometimes you need a joint sponsor. You don't know you need a joint sponsor if you don't know how to read the poverty guidelines for USCIS. Those are not the same poverty guidelines for housing. Those are not the same ones for the banks, okay? So other things to avoid, other mistakes to avoid when you're filing for a loved one, okay? Trying to do it without a lawyer. For God's sake, spend $200 or whatever it is and see a lawyer. You don't have to hire them for the whole case if you don't feel like it. You don't have to. But get the proper advice. You know what you get on a free consultation? Zero. You're not getting legal advice on a free consultation. That is like, let me get to know you. Let me see if I know you. If I want to help you, let me see if I don't want to. That's what you get on a free consultation. Okay. Free case evaluations are different. Okay. But when you're calling a lawyer and you get the free consultation, you are getting nothing. Pay for the consult so they can give you legal advice. Okay. Because you're calling a lawyer to get legal advice. Get the legal advice. Okay. So, don't try to do it on your own unless you speak with a lawyer first. The notario down the street and the paralegal who's not associated with a lawyer, Google and all that, they don't have a law degree. They cannot help you. And nobody can help you, okay, without going in depth into your whole situation and your future spouse's situation and so on. So before I keep going to the next mistakes, let's see some questions here. So, the best Catrace says, if my mother is green card holder, can she make a petition if I'm already in USA living here? Yes, she can petition for you. That does not mean a green card petition. She can petition for you. And depending on the situation, you might have to leave the country, get a waiver of your unlawful presence, and then you may be able to come back. We can help you with that process. Now, depends if you are here still maintaining a status. For example, you could be on an H-1B for 6 years. You could be on an E-2 for 20 years. Yeah, if that is the case and that's how you bridge the time, then you're okay. All right. So if your mother is a green card holder, yes, she can petition for you. U-Visa, first court date, customer not coming to court. Now, second notice to him. Who's the customer? Are you the customer who are you in this relationship? Because I can't understand. Now, second notice to him from court. U visa in court, offensive or defensive, which one is it? I don't have enough information to be able to help you. So you might want to give me a lot more information first, okay? All right, so other mistakes to avoid when filing for a loved one. Not having all the information, okay? Do you have a free consultation? No, we don't offer free consultation. We have free case evaluations with our legal team, and they will go over your information and we'll see if it's something we can help you. Okay, but we do not provide legal advice on free case evaluations. And I just mentioned you really do not want to do a free consultation, and I explained why. I explained that you do not want to have a free consultation because a free consultation is for them to see, oh, do I want to help you? Do I not want to help you? And you are getting exactly zero advice on those. Hi, Ruxandra. I'm glad you are here. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so Tommy wants to know, hello there, with TPS Supreme Court rule, am I eligible to adjust status if I was out of status in 2015 but traveled in advance parole in 2016 and December 2019? No, the Supreme Court decision says that if you had TPS, but when you are traveling on advance parole on TPS, you are traveling outside the United States, you return to the United States, okay? When you return in the United States, you are getting back in the United States in the same status that you had prior to leaving the United States. So if before you left on advance parole, you had an entry with a tourist visa, you overstayed some visa, then yes, probably you can get adjustment. If you didn't, and then no, then you are going back to not having entry without inspection. You are saying you are from Nepal, but I was paroled in 2015. Yes, before the Supreme Court ruling. It doesn't matter, okay? Because it will go back to there. We have had clients who thought the same thing. Right now, some of the cases are still pending, okay? I'm an engineer. Can I work in the U.S. if I entered on a tourist visa? If you entered on a tourist visa, you cannot work in the United States. Now, we have tourists for business and tourists for pleasure. Tourists for pleasure, it's B2. Tourists for business is B1. If you are an engineer and you are just traveling to the United States, and you came here because you have a couple of meetings or you need to service one machine for someone, that is different. You can work for that specific limited purpose, or you can go to a trade show, or you can do a networking meeting, but you cannot work in the United States on a B visa. No, you cannot. All right. Alexandra is like, a friend just bought a home. I think I read somewhere that on buying contracts, you can mistakenly claim to be a U.S. citizen, and this can be a problem. Oh, yeah, big issue, big issue. And thank you for asking me that. That's Alexandra on YouTube. And she says that a friend bought a home, and on the contract, they can mistakenly claim to be a U.S. citizen, and that's a problem. It's a huge issue. If you are applying for a mortgage, let's say you and your spouse is a U.S. citizen, that's fine. They can say whatever they want, they can sign whatever they want. But if there is a box on that application, and if there is a box on that application that says, are you a U.S. citizen, and you are the one signing, then you are claiming to be a U.S. citizen, and that's obtaining a benefit, okay? And the Supreme Court has ruled that is false claim to citizenship that forever prevents you from becoming a citizen, from getting a green card, and so on, okay? Okay, Tommy, I need to see you entered on F1 visa. If you entered on F1 visa, advanced parole or no advanced parole, you are reverting back to that status. So you should be able to adjust with the F1 visa, okay? It has nothing to do with the Supreme Court ruling or the advanced parole, okay? Because you're not coming back to undocumented status. You're coming back still admitted and inspected under your initial F1. So Tommy, yes, we can help you with that. All right, good. So back to claiming false claim to citizenship. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Okay? Don't put your name on the same mortgage with your spouse if the only way to get the mortgage is to claim you are a U.S. citizen. You are going to have serious problems in getting any sort of immigration papers after. And there is no waiver for that. All right, let's go over some of these. All right. U.S. citizen want to petition my spouse. She came on B1. B2 overstate, how much will be the price? I do not know how much the price is going to be until we have a conversation and we discuss all the intricacies about the immigration history, marital history, criminal history, if there is any children, no children. There is so much that we need to know. So I cannot tell you a price, okay? Not only that, this would not be the proper forum, okay? I can tell you how much the cost of water is, but this bottle might be totally different than this one. So no. Okay, do we have to submit a waiver for misrepresentation initially, during petitioning, or after? Tell me what the misrepresentation would be. Okay, and if you need a waiver, don't even think of doing this on your own. Okay, don't even think it. Okay, you can't afford to make that mistake. Every single mistake that you are making in your application, you're thinking, oh, it's just a little checkbox here, or just this little document I'm not going to submit. It's going to cost you significantly later. Okay, so let me give you an example of that. We have a client. And she's been my client at that point that I'm talking about at the time of her green card interview for about 2.5 years. In 2.5 years, she never once says that she was arrested, okay, and what she was arrested for. I had no idea, okay, did not come up on her background check, okay? So we are running into this. We go to the green card application and the immigration officer says, have you ever been arrested for anything? And the words coming out of her mouth is, yes. I'm about to pass out right there at immigration. I'm like, the only thing you don't want to do your lawyer is have your lawyer be surprised, okay? That's the one thing you do not want. Okay, so we are at immigration interview. Have you ever been arrested? What were you arrested for? And it was the stupidest little thing. Okay, it was she was on a dare with a friend when she was younger, and she shoplifted a lipstick. Okay, it would not have prevented her from getting a green card at all. She could still have gotten a green card and would have been zero issues. But now she didn't. So now we are having problems. Now she got a request for evidence. She spent, about $5,000 to get those documents from another state, get them certified. It turns out her criminal case from 12 years ago wasn't even ended. So she had to close the case, hire a lawyer to close the case, go to court, take care of all that. At the end, we still didn't have the documents we needed for the request for evidence. Then another decision she made. Oh, I don't want to pay for X. Okay, so I am going to submit the way it is. Yeah, she submitted the way it was because that's what she wanted to do. She didn't want to spend an additional $2,000 to obtain more documents. Okay, so we submitted the case, and guess what? She was denied. And now she's freaking out. It's like, well, I went through this whole thing and I'm not getting a green card. I'm like, well, we can appeal. So now she's spending money on an appeal. She still has to spend the extra $2,000 to get them from the other attorney in the other state. She's paying us to do an appeal. And appeals are very hard to do and overturn. And she might actually have to start from zero again. How much did that lipstick cost her in terms of time? How much did that cost her in terms of time and money and aggravation. It's just ridiculous, ridiculous. Just tell the lawyer so the lawyer knows what they need to do, and it might cost you exactly zero on top of that. So, citizen wants to petition, you're a citizen, you want to petition your spouse. She came with B1, B2, overstayed. Do we have to submit? We were married, but we find out in the application claimed single by the agency. I don't know what that means. I don't know which agency you're talking about. If you hired an attorney, then you can file a bar complaint against that attorney. If there was you're talking an agency, so I'm assuming that is not an attorney, then you really have you have no way to fix that, okay? When we are talking about an agency, I'm assuming it's just a notary down the street who's helping you fill out paperwork. Immigration is not about paperwork. So yes, you were married, they filled out, they claimed single when they did the visa application back then. So it really depends. I'm assuming it was an agency back in her country or his country. I don't know who you are. Sorry about that. There are some agencies that help you fill out visa applications back home. They claim single. And yes, we deal with that sadly all the time. We have people claiming that they are married when they are single, people claiming they're single when they were indeed married. And that creates a problem later on because they cannot get a green card. And that is fraud. That is, you need a waiver for that. That is just complicated, okay? We might be able to help you. Give us a call, all right? But I don't know. We might not. All right. Let's see. Yes, you originally entered on F1, so I got to Tommy. All right, so we've been doing this for 30 minutes. I just want to give you another mistakes that you should avoid when you're filing for a loved one, since that's what we are talking about. Do not go to a lawyer and expect a certain answer. When you are expecting a certain answer from the lawyer, first, you are not open to all the possibilities that are available. Second, you are going there expecting the answer. If that is the case, you shouldn't even do the conversation. What's the point? You know what the answer is, then don't go and spend your money on a lawyer. You're wasting your money and your time, okay? So honestly, if you're going to a lawyer, listen to their advice. And when a lawyer is honest with you and they tell you, you might not have options, or your only option is option A, but you heard from Google, because Google has a law degree. Google tells you, oh, but Google says this, or Google says that, then we have a problem, okay? Because at that point, frankly, you are not open to anything the lawyer says, and you're wasting your time. You should be going with the lawyer who stands by their word, and they tell you, I cannot help you, or your only option is X, even though, but I can still get a green card because the Supreme Court says X. Until you do legal reading and you know how to read the Supreme Court decision and how to apply the Supreme Court decision. Oh, by the way, Tommy, you're welcome, but this doesn't address you. I'm not addressing you. I know your issue just mentioned Supreme Court. This is not about you. All right. So seriously, you need to know, because a single decision doesn't make or break the case most of the time. It's taken in totality with all the other precedent decisions that are taking place, okay? Everything else that has happened before in your particular case, in the law, in all the other things. So I think I addressed, okay, filed U visa with initial evidence September 2023, robberies, filed, got robbed again in 2020. Oh my goodness, Tommy. For which guys in jail, USCIS don't know about it. So do I have a chance to get? Yes. You can get it with you can get it with one robbery. So you might be able to get it. Okay. All right. Whoever helped you with the U visa, make sure they know about all this information. If you did it on your own, then we can probably help you. Okay. All right. So hope this was useful, guys. And we shall chat again, I think, maybe tomorrow. Oh, yes. Tomorrow we are going to discuss what to do if you are underage. So, of course, as usual, it's going to be the same time. Make sure you have your questions ahead of time, and we'll be here. Okay, guys, bye.